but I don't care. You can come for me in this chat all you want to. Listen, y'all, I am your family consultant. My name is Lady Shanelle, and I'm so excited to join you all today. I hopefully won't be on here too long, but I do want to share a brief point and just kind of talk about how that relates to us as co-parents as we are developing beautiful, beautiful children into wonderful adults one day. And so I was listening to this conversation with this father. He decided that he wanted to be the victim in his story, which I have no idea why. You're a full grown man. Why are you the victim in this story? You should be like the victor. You should be the hero in the story. But he somehow wanted to be the victim in the story, and he was blaming the mom for everything. Like he took absolutely no accountability, no responsibility. And I could see why the mom probably went ahead and left him where he was, because that's probably what she had to put up with for the last 20, 25, 30 years with him. And so he's crying to his daughter about, how her mom this, her mom that, her mom did no accountability, no account. And so I was wondering, okay, so what is that going to do for the daughter? First of all, like, what exactly are you trying to achieve, Dad? And crying to your daughter, first of all, looking like a little punk, um, about her mom. Okay. So, first of all, I thought about this. I said, well, maybe he's trying to get her on his side, for whatever reason. And I was like, well, that's not really a good idea, because she's going to love him regardless. He doesn't have to, he just needs to show up as a dad. I've talked about this before. You've got to just be consistent and show up. Show up as who you are, as a great dad. She's not about to marry you, okay? But she needs to see who she needs to marry in you, right? Meaning she needs to see you man up and take some responsibility at that. Yeah, things didn't work out. I didn't fulfill my responsibility as a leader. I didn't even develop a mission. You know how many men I talk to in my sessions that don't even know, have no idea, no clue that we're looking for you to have a vision, we're looking for you to have a mission, we're looking for you to have a plan. And so evidently, he clearly didn't have no plan. He still didn't have no plan while he was sitting there crying to his daughter. And I think the plan that he probably thought he was going to have was to get his daughter on his side so that they could team up against the mom. Listen, the mom is living her best life. Okay. She done found a dude who actually has a plan, who's actually stable, who's actually, has vision and has communicated where he wants to take her, you know, if she decides to go with him on this journey in life. And while she's living her best life, he's sitting there crying to the daughter about why things didn't work out with the mom. Like, I'm like, dude, you are wasting so much time. Like, you should be using all of that time you're doing crying to develop plans. So, how does this work as co-parents? So, why does this even matter as a co-parent? Well, most of the time, just in my experience as a life consultant and a family consultant, specifically for families and for co-parents, in my experience, it has been men who do things like this, men who do things like this, more than likely had a dominating mom. The dad wasn't in the life. If he was around, he was weak. He wasn't a great husband. He wasn't a great leader. He wasn't a great example. He didn't model any real manliness. And so this guy grew up with female features, female traits, female behaviors. He's going to cry at the drop of a hat. He's going to fuss and fight. He don't even know how to really negotiate, because he only thinks he's supposed to have his way, because his mom didn't ever let him have his way, because she dominated him and didn't give him space to grow, didn't give him space to make decisions, didn't even really put him around strong men. And so he didn't really know what it took or what it even looked like to be a strong man. And evidently he doesn't have strong men around in his life to hold him accountable, because he's sitting there crying to his daughter. Okay. And so here's the problem. Here's the problem, ladies. Sometimes we get this idea that we have to do it all. we have to be the mom and the dad. I hate that because you cannot raise that boy to be a man. Now, you can teach him what women like. You can teach him what a good woman is going to be and how to look for a good woman, all of those things, because we're soft over here, okay? I ain't about to drop no engines over here, okay? But what you can do is listen, and you're going to have to be diligent about this, ladies. You're going to have to find a mentorship or something. And I know it can be scary out here because listen, a lot of the men that are out here been raised by women, and so they effeminate or they got a lot of stuff going on. And you're like, oh my God, I don't want my son to be taken advantage of. And so you're trying to shelter him from all of that, which I understand. But you got to be diligent. Like you have to really, really surround your son with good, strong, wholesome, God-fearing men, because some of these men will grow up and become scammers and schemers and manipulators. They don't know how to communicate. They send in long text messages. They don't even know. Like, oh my God, don't raise another man like that. There's too many of those men out there, okay? And I know y'all gonna jump in my DMs and y'all gonna jump in my chat and talk about a lot of foolishness. But I'm here to tell you, and I want you to clearly understand what I'm saying here. Mamas, I know we have a lot to do. But one thing I really noticed, my son is going to a special academy whoop, 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 this year. And so we were at the open house, and his instructors, what I noticed was his instructors addressed him. Okay, so it was me and him that went. His father couldn't go, and his instructors didn't address me. Like, they knew I was there. They acknowledged me, but they addressed him, and I fell back because I was like, "That is cool," because he has a voice. He knows what he wants. He's been raised by a great man who's a great father, okay, in his life. And so he knows how to communicate, and we teach him how to communicate, and we urge him to communicate, and we facilitate spaces for him to safely communicate and communicate well what he feels, how he feels, what he likes, what he doesn't like. Now, does he get his way all the time? Absolutely not. We're not raising a brat. Well, what I am saying is that when his instructors addressed him, he spoke clearly. He spoke where you can hear him. He knew what he wanted. He had a plan. He had a vision. Like, it was not the mumble jumble that some of these dudes I see do. And I'm like, who raised you? Like, why are you mumbling? You're 17 years old. Why are you mumbling? Why are you still mumbling? You're not two. Okay, and then grown men who don't have a plan, grown men who have no idea of even how to resolve conflict. Okay, now that's a whole nother dude. That's a whole nother thing to jump into too, and that's a whole nother video. But these are life skills, moms, that we are teaching our children, specifically our sons, when we say, you know what, I don't want you to behave like me. I don't want you to resolve conflict like a woman. I want you to resolve conflict like a man. So I'm going to take you to this mentorship program. I'm going to get you around some good, godly, strong men who teach you these life skills that you need to learn, so that when you get with an actual soft feminine woman, she she's like, "Oh, I'll submit to you. You have leadership, you have actual leadership skills. You're not banging your chest talking about I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man." Well, clearly we know that. We know what a man look like and a woman look like, but you're not acting like one. You're not behaving like one. You don't know how to resolve conflict. You don't know how to develop a plan. You don't even know how to develop a black backup plan. You don't know how to do basic things that are required of a man that I want to submit to, that I want to come up under the vision for, that I want to come under the mission. But you have no mission at all. You just flying by the seat of your pants, dude. And I'm just like, why y'all? What is really going on? And so, moms, let's take a step back and let the men do what the men need to do. Let's make sure we're investing in our daughters, making sure we're investing in them understanding the value and developing value that they can bring to the table in their relationships. Because sometimes, and I saw this was a little funny, but I saw this on a Country Rain skit where he was talking about she thinks she's supposed to just sit here. She is not bringing any value to the relationship. And ladies, listen, if you're bringing value to the relationship and he doesn't notice the value, then that's on him. He fumbled the deal, you know. But if you're not bringing value and you think just showing up is value, baby, there's so many other people prettier than you who are bringing value to the table. Okay. And so, yes, can you be pretty? Absolutely. Be gorgeous, but also bring value to make up for the areas where you may not be as strong in, or he may not be as strong in, and be strong in those areas, and make sure that those areas are something that you're consistent in. Don't just try to cook one meal and say, oh, I'm gonna cook your meals, but you never cook again. You know, like, work out some recipes. Okay, I'm gonna jump off of that because that's for my women's group. But moms, once again, stop trying to dominate over your sons. Stop trying to dominate over your sons so that they can grow up to have soft women who want to submit, who want to partner with them, who want to show up as feminine and soft, who want to be a soft landing space for him, who doesn't have, who don't, she don't even have to fight for her femininity, because he's definitely letting her be that. But sometimes in some relationships, some women have to fight to be feminine because the man is acting like a woman. Like, he's not acting effeminate, but he's acting emotional, where the woman, that's what she's supposed to be. She's supposed to be the emotional. Now, I'm not saying men shouldn't have emotions. God knows I'm not saying that. But what I am saying, he's not irrational. He is not impetuous. He's not impulsive. He has a sound mind. He has self-control. Okay. He is not operating from a spirit of fear, but he is operating from a place of power and love and a sound mind. Women, we still have to operate from that place as well. However, God has designed us so that we can bring balance to our families. And so if that man is acting just as emotional as you, baby, that's gonna be a circus in your house. Okay. So, moms, let's do our job. Remember, you can't raise a man. That's why I'm grateful that my son's father is a great father, and I don't have to worry about trying to make him a man, because I don't know how to be one. I've never been a man, so I'm not doing that. So, but yes, if your kid's father isn't that great of a father, listen, there are some men out here. There's a lot, actually, a lot of men out here who are great fathers that want to see other men be great, other young men and young boys be great. And so, find you one partner, assess the situation. Of course, do your homework, do your due diligence, mom, but make sure you get your sons around a good, strong man who got some principles, so he can instill some principles, so these men don't grow up and be 50, 60, 70 years old, still don't even know what principles mean and don't even know how to spell principle. So anyway, with that being said, because I got a lot of jokes today for some reason, but y'all gonna drop some jokes in the comments. I know y'all are, but I'm not gonna take it. It's all good, y'all. It's all good. But I want to hear what y'all got to say. So drop down in the comments what you got to say, especially those of you watching on YouTube. Y'all have a lot to say over there. And so if you're not following me on YouTube, y'all need to go ahead and follow me over here on YouTube. But until next time, continue to be great, be blessed by the best. Make sure that you remember that move makers are action takers. So I want to know, what action step are you going to take as a result of this video today? Drop it down in the chat below, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.